Hello, farmers, and welcome to the harvest season. My name is Al,
And my name is Cody.
and we're here today to talk about farming games.
Woo!
Woo! Welcome, Cody, again. It is good to have you.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Got my coffee here. Got a game running. We're doing good.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So I got Cody on today to talk about our game that we've both been playing on mobile called either Blocky Farm or Bricky Farm, depending on where you are in the world, which is very confusing. But apparently, when I went to install it it was called Blocky Farm, but apparently in America it's called Bricky Farm.
No, it's Blocky Farm on here.
Oh, is it the other way? Oh, it's the other way around.
Yeah. It's the other way around.
It's so confusing. If you search for either of them, it takes you to the same game. But on my app store, it's called Bricky Farm. And on yours, it's called Blocky Farm.
Yes.
So I don't know what we're going to end up calling it. If we say Bricky Farm or Blocky Farm, it's the same thing. I feel like I'll probably call Blocky Farm because that feels like a less annoying name to me.
I like it.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, if you get confused, listeners, when you go to try and get it, that's why it's confusing. I think it was at one point called Bricky Farm and then they renamed it to Blocky Farm, but they haven't renamed it to Blocky Farm everywhere. Maybe there's a trademark issue somewhere or something weird like that. Who knows? Either way, it's confusing.
Either way, it's a good game.
Well, let's get into that later on. Let's not give away content so early in the podcast.
I'm sorry.
So we are going to talk about that. But beforehand, we're going to go through what we've been playing and we're going to go through the news. And then we will talk about Blocky Farm, Bricky Farm, whatever you want to call it. So first of all, Cody, what have you been playing?
So I have mostly been playing Pokemon Go. Did that mad dash at the end of the year to get to 40 and got to level 40 about a week before the end of the year. So I got that sweet Gyarados hat. And then a lot of Minecraft lately. I go through spurts with Minecraft and it's definitely an on time for me right now. And then obviously Blocky Farm. I want to play more Ring Fit. But I need to get new Joy-Cons or get mine fixed. But
oh no, have you got drift?
I got the drift. So
the drift.
I'm thinking of just buying new ones and then sending the other ones in, and then I'll just have two sets.
Yeah. So. I have 4 sets of Joy-Cons.
Oh my gosh.
Well, let me tell you why. It's because then 4 people can play with 2 Joy-Cons each, right?
That's
because
fair.
Many games playing with one Joy-Con is fine, but not great. Like I hate playing Mario Kart on one Joy-Con, for example.
Yes.
And also there are too many nice Joy-Cons. So we've got red and blue, we've got purple and orange.
Ooh.
And I have the Pokemon Let's Go special ones, the yellow and brown, and the Animal Crossing ones, the like faded green and blue.
You have
really
so
nice
many
colours.
options. Oh my
I know.
gosh.
I know. But they're so nice that I just feel like I want to display them all and not actually use them.
Yeah. I just have the one. I think I got the black. Yeah, I've just got the like slate grayish ones that come with the basic Switch.
Yeah.
And that is all I have. So and they don't work. So I've been normally if I play something like I play Minecraft or Stardew or whatever on my Switch, I have like a wireless controller.
Yeah.
So that's not a problem. But for Ring Fit, you have to use the Joy-Cons. So
yes,
I need new ones. Anyways,
Sometimes.
what have you been playing, Al?
I would say though, have you got the Ring Fit stuff already?
Yeah. Oh yeah. My partner bought me all of that.
Does the drift actually cause you problems then? Because I don't think you're using the joystick in the game.
It did. So I played it a couple times like on his Switch, and so I have an account and like I've been playing it on his Switch, but like he's not here all the time, and I want to play it.
Right.
Like he takes his Switch, and so I want to be able to have the account on my own Switch. So I need to get that. And I remember trying it and it just like messing up a bunch. So
That's weird. I wonder why that happens, because I mean I've never tried using the joystick in the game, but I just assumed it would do nothing. But
I think that it'll allow you, so you know how like when you are playing, you have that ring and then you like turn it to the right to like go through the menus. You can
oh
just
yeah, yeah,
use the thing instead
yeah. All right, good point.
to do that. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
Fair enough.
So what have you been playing, Al?
I have been playing, obviously, a lot of Blocky Farm. Clearly more than you. We'll get to that later.
Whoa.
Look, when I play a game, I obsess over a game, right? This is part of the problem.
I noticed.
I have also, so I set my challenge. So a couple of years ago, I set myself a year's challenge of doing 12 30-day challenges or 12 monthly challenges. So obviously what does not work well is making yourself do something all year. What I find does work quite well is making myself do something for a month, because a month is a decent amount of time to create a habit, but it's also not like an insane amount of time. And if you muck it up, it's not the end of the world because you're about to start another month. So that worked really well for me. I think I ended up gaining a lot of good habits and improving myself. But I've not done that for the last few years. So I decided I wanted to do it again this year. And my first one, so my January one, is to play fitness boxing every day for January. That's and let me tell you, the first couple of days, they were quite something.
Oh no.
Everything ached for like the first week. But it's going well. I have done, I actually started on the 30th of December because I was like, I'm not going to do a traditional Hogmanay party. So I can probably like actually start these things earlier.
Yeah.
Because I find that the problem with trying to start something on the 1st of January is that if you've done like a standard Hogmanay thing and then you don't feel like doing anything the next day. Whereas if you start a couple of days beforehand, you're already in the way of doing things, and then you're more likely to do it on the 1st as well. Because quite often I will just go, I'll just start that in a couple of days, and then you never actually do it.
So for our American listeners, myself included, what is Hogmanay?
Sorry. Hogmanay is Scottish New Year's Eve.
Okay. So same concept of celebrate heartily with
yeah, I mean I don't
beverage.
drink alcohol, but yeah.
Okay.
But what we tend to do is we get we like, obviously we did not do that this year for obvious reasons. But what we generally do is we host at our house like a big do with all of our family and friends come round. We do like a big buffet meal. We have like some board games and video games and stuff. And then where I am is like I'm across the water from Edinburgh. And Edinburgh does Hogmanay really well. Like they have like a week-long celebration of Hogmanay, including like a fire walk where like everybody gets a massive fire torch and walks down the streets in Edinburgh, and like this, it's just a huge thing. And obviously it culminates on the actual Hogmanay at midnight with a like a half-hour fireworks show, and it's really amazing. And if we walk down the hill from our house to the beach, we can then look across the water and watch the fireworks. So we tend to do that as well.
Oh, that's so cool.
So we have it's really good fun. I'm really sad we didn't do it this year. We just had Rona's sister over outside in the garden with a fire. And that was all we did. So it was a very simple one, but it does mean that I ate a lot less.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a lot of people, and I've been guilty of this in the past, you think, January 1st is when I'm going to start all of my new things.
Yeah, exactly.
So December 31st is when I'm going to eat all of my ice cream and I'm going to get all of that out of the way. It's going to be the last hoorah. And then you wake up on January 1st and you're like, oh no.
What have I
Mistakes have been
done?
made.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all a long way to say that I started on the 30th. So I've had 18 days in a row at point of recording doing fitness boxing. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. It's become a lot easier now because I've gotten over the first week or so of like all my muscles ache.
Yeah.
But it works really nicely and it builds up the different exercises as you go. So obviously
cool.
to start with, you're just doing your kind of standard straight and jab punches, but then it brings in a whole bunch of other punches and then also like dodges and moving around and stuff. So it's been really good fun. And actually fun. It's like an exercise that I've actually enjoyed, which is very rare for me. Because I like rhythm games. And so it's a rhythm game, but also quite intense exercise. So that's kind of worked really well together. So I'm quite happy with that.
We need a farming rhythm game. I don't know why that just came into my mind. Maybe we can talk about that at another time of how would we make a farming rhythm game.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking something like the Cadence of Hyrule. What was the original game of that? The one. You know the game I'm talking about?
I do not.
Oh, Crypt of the Necro Dancer.
I've not seen that.
You not played that? It's like a rhythm rogue like or roguelite. I'm very sorry for everybody. I can never remember which is which. So you're like, you have to move in time to the beat to get through the dungeon.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So I'm thinking just a farming game, but you have to do it to the rhythm of the beat.
I think that'd be fun. In the true spirit of 2021, they could time it with a sea shanty.
Oh man, so many sea shanties. So I've been, what was I saying? Yes, fitness boxing. So I've been playing a lot of that. And I've also finished up Harvest Moon Mad Dash. Did I mention that in the last podcast? I can't remember. I got Harvest Moon Mad Dash as a Christmas present, and it is very definitely not a farming game in the traditional sense of farming game. It's incredibly stressful, but I completed it.
Okay.
And I will never play it again.
No, last podcast you mentioned that you got Dragon Quest Builders 2. Are you still
I got that
playing
as well. I got that as well. I've taken a little break from that because I've been playing Blocky Farm and the game that I'm going to be doing next episode as well. And I can only keep so many games together in my brain at once, I think. So
that's fair. That's very fair.
I will get back to that at some point, maybe in May after all of the farming games have come out this year. We'll see. I do plan to play it. And to round off what I've been playing, I've also started playing Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh.
So it's a completely different type of game. But I tend to like to go like a farming game, mobile game, and kind of like a big AAA first person or third person actually, not first, third person explory combat-y game.
Well, you got to switch it up.
Exactly. So that's a lot of games.
That is a lot of games.
Well, that's what we've been playing. Shall we talk about some news?
Yeah.
So we've got some new Story of Seasons information. There's not a huge amount that's like, oh, this is really brand new, crazy stuff. There's been a lot of stuff about the kind of character customization, which does look quite cool. Interestingly, you can have different colored eyes. As in, like, your left and right eyes can be different colors.
Oh, heterochromia. Okay.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, that's what that's called. Sorry.
And there appear to be like lots of different hair colors. I don't think we've seen a list of skin colors, but like one of the screenshots here, the hair color is like a faded from black to red, kind of cool, kind of dyed color. It looks quite cool. Anyway, it looks like the customization is quite in depth, which is good. What else was there? There's lots of kind of other small bits and pieces. Like there's more information about all of the marriage candidates. I saw there was an article by one of these random gaming websites. It's like, oh, you can now do same-sex marriage in Story of Seasons, but they call it best friends. And I'm like, this is really old news. Because one, you could do that in Friends of Mineral Town, and two, it was only called Best Friends in Japan. In English, it was called Marriage. So I can't remember if it was in Trio of Towns. Have you played Trio of Towns?
I have not ever played a Story of Seasons game. I am a terrible human. But this game looks amazing. I'm looking at the website here.
Yeah.
The cow looks really cute, but I also really like the fox.
I think this is going to be like if people haven't played a Story of Seasons / Harvest Moon, or they've been out of it for a while, I feel like this is the game to come into it, based on what we've been seeing. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
I'm thinking that this might be my intro to it. I played Harvest Moon, It's a Wonderful Life.
Right.
Back on like the GameCube.
Quite a while ago.
So,
things have changed quite a lot since then.
Yes. So I definitely would be interested in playing this when it comes out, because this looks really cute.
Yeah. And the big thing that I pointed out in the show notes is that it looks like there are children in the game. So you can have children, and then they probably grow up, I think. Which I think it's not new for Harvest Moon, Story of Seasons, because there was one in an older... Was it A Wonderful Life that had that, or was it a different one? There was one of them that had, like, you had a child and they grew up, and then I think you could become them when you died. Can't remember which one that one was.
That would be the ideal.
Rochelle mentioned that in one of them, but I think it was like a weird... It was whatever we did an episode on that one, I think. Was it not? It's A Wonderful Life you've played, you said. Is it not A Wonderful Life? It looks like that was the one that we covered, but maybe it wasn't that game.
I played... So first of all, it's been over 10 years. I'm so old. But it also... I don't think I ever played it long enough. I remember marrying someone because I remember that I had a huge crush on the girl that worked at the inn. But I don't think I ever played it long enough to then
so it is
the child.
Yeah, just double checking, it is that game. So you have a child and they grow up. And it's kind of like a story type game rather than... It's more story based than anything else. So we don't know much about how they'll work in this game. I don't think you could have children in Trio of Towns. And so it's not brand new, but it is new recently, if that makes sense. Because I think a Wonderful Life / Another Wonderful Life are the most recent ones that had children in them. But if Rochelle is listening to this, she'll probably be screaming at me, telling me I'm wrong.
So the Story of Season Trio of Towns thing says that you can have a child. And it says your child's gender is randomly picked at birth. And you can reset the game until you get the gender you want. And then pregnancy lasts for about 40 days. So
okay, well, I was wrong. You can have children. So I guess that's not new. It's just been a while because we haven't had a game that you could have children in for a while since Trio of Towns, even though we've had 2 games since then. Because Doraemon, you basically are a child, and Friends of Mineral Town was very much based on the original Friends of Mineral Town and didn't include new mechanics like that. So there's a lot in this game. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Good fun. Stardew. There's a new patch. There's actually an even newer one since I wrote these show notes that I'm typing into. There's a 1.5.2 and a 1.5.3 patch. It's got some bug fixes. I think there's even a 1.5.3.1 because there was a weird bug with the 1.5.3. Don't ask. Whatever. There's if you're playing Stardew, make sure you update. There you go. Have you played 1.5 yet?
I haven't, but as we were talking right before this, I just got a new laptop and I can play it on my new laptop. And so I'm thinking, I actually just moved across the room and I'm going to install it.
Nice.
So, and it looks like this is, I'm trying to see what type this is, which one this is that I'm about to install on my new laptop. 1.5.3? Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
So I haven't played this new one yet, but I will now after.
Good. Good.
I liked some of the things that I saw, that I heard, like the island.
The beach farm.
Yeah, that one. Sorry. Um, just some other things. I don't know. It's just been a hot minute since I've played it, so
Yeah.
I will play.
Nice. Yeah, I've
Have
not
you
played it
played it
yet.
since the? No.
I have not. I'm planning on playing it a lot when it comes out on Switch. And I might be playing it on my computer at some point. I don't think I want to give too much away just now, but there might be a thing that I might be doing outside of this podcast, but related to this podcast. And am I intriguing enough? That's the question. We'll find out.
So mysterious.
There's a thing I might be doing that will require me to play it before it comes out on Switch. So
mysterious.
I like to be mysterious, Codey. It's a thing that I do. What can I say?
Well, I will be continuing to listen to future episodes until
I
the
will
mystery is
definitely
solved.
keep a lookout on the podcast feed and the Twitter, because it might happen, it might be announced and happen between podcast recordings. So keep an eye on the Twitter page. Or follow me on Twitter and see all my nonsense as well. Next, Sunhaven. We've got a confirmed release date for Sunhaven. Before it was just, it's coming out in May. Now it's coming out on the 28th of May. So
I love that how you found that out is just that they responded to someone's tweet.
yeah, it's great. I love it. I might have missed it another time when they'd said the same thing, but there you go.
Oh yeah, so on January 1st, they said it on their thing. They said that it'll be releasing on Steam May 28th.
There you go. There you go. But the one that I saw was a reply to another developer that I follow. All the weirdness. All the weirdness.
Are these moths? I'm looking at the pinned tweet on Twitter, and there's like moths that are flying around, and the thing just says to get mounts. Can you mount a moth?
No, yeah, maybe.
I mean, these are really pretty moths. Speaking as an entomologist.
They look like frost moths.
Oh, they totally do. Oh my gosh. This looks like a very cute game.
Speaking of games that look good, Coral Island.
Beautiful transition.
I try. They have a Kickstarter that's coming out sometime soon. I don't think we have a confirmed date for the Kickstarter, but we have a upcoming page which you can subscribe to and get notified when it comes out. They currently have 822 followers, so I suspect they may not have any problem getting funded, but we'll see. And the early access release for it will be in Q3 or Q4 of this year.
This is another game that looks very pretty. It just looks
it
reminds me, the layout of it reminds me of Stardew, but it's got these, the graphics are way different.
The character arts look amazing.
Yeah.
And the thing that I really like the look of is they specifically say they're promoting diversity and environmental awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the look of this game.
Yeah, in the most recent trailer, it shows that you need to help someone. You're trying to help. Is that a mermaid? There's like a sea turtle stuck in a net, and there's a bunch of garbage under the water, and you go down and it's a mermaid, and you help her.
This game is gorgeous.
It's so pretty.
I might just finish watching this trailer before we move on.
I know, right?
Oh, those strawberries are very big.
Mm-hmm. I love the art style too. Like, I wonder if I can see 1 minute and 2 seconds into the trailer, if anyone else is looking. There's so you're standing in front of the character, but then there's a drawing of the character to the left of the chat box. And
yes.
it's just a draw, like a artist's rendering a drawing. It's not the 3D like sprite model, and I actually kind of really like that. Like, I like the blending of different art techniques.
Yeah, I think that's more common nowadays because it kind of allows you to not only have simpler in-game models, but then have, much more detailed drawings of them. It allows you to like show more emotion and stuff like that. I really like the way they do that. I've seen that in quite a few games.
In that art style, like in the 2D like drawing style, that I feel like they're able to do a lot more of expressions, and
exactly.
like a lot more of the character comes through. So I really like that.
Exactly. Yeah, this is a very good looking game.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's like a fire spider.
Oh, this is very like Stardew. There's mines and you can choose what floor you want to go to.
I mean, it's not really surprising that so many games are inspired by Stardew now.
Concerned Ape did a great job.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of like the farming game nowadays, and that everything is basically compared to that, which is good and bad for all involved. Anyway, that's Coral Island. Go look at it.
Very pretty.
So, Codey, I think that's all the news. It's January. It's reasonably quiet. February and March, they're not going to be quiet. But let's keep it while it's quiet.
Well, don't worry. I'm sure that a huge farming game news blast will happen immediately after we're done recording.
Oh, they always do.
They're like, THS has recorded. Release the news now.
I mentioned that in my last recording, and then it literally happened.
Well, I'm telling you, the developers are listening. They know our recording schedule. They know what's up.
Anyway, shall we talk about Blocky Farm / Bricky Farm?
Let us talk about this wonderful game.
Cool. So let's describe it as it's a mobile farming game where everything is time-based. And all the mechanics are very simple, as things tend to be on mobile. And is that about enough for a kind of overall explanation?
Yeah. I think like one thing that jumped out to me right away is if anyone played Farmville.
I never actually did.
I played so much Farmville when it was in Facebook, like in the early days of Facebook.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of that, and I actually really enjoyed that game. So
right.
So that was something that I was pleasantly surprised. So I say that to try and let viewers maybe like put it in context of what kind of game it is. It's kind of like Farmville. Reminds me of that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And if you haven't played Farmville, you never will. Because it's dead.
Gone.
I mean, I'm sure someone has. I think it's probably been archived somewhere, and someone has started writing because it was a Flash game, and of course, Flash has been deprecated as well now. But someone has built like I think a JavaScript library that tries to emulate Flash. So theoretically, at some point, you will be able to play it again in your browser. But not yet. So, and there is Farmville 3 that is currently out, but it's only out in a few countries. It's not out in either my country or your country, Codey. So,
well, I have Blocky Farm now to fill that void in my life, so we're fine.
We do. So we're going to go through this game. We're going to talk about a lot of things. I've kind of got a vague structure to talk about. Let's go through the core mechanics first. So first of all, as I mentioned, everything is time-based. So like real-time based. So you plant something and it'll take X number of minutes or hours to do. You come back, it'll be done. There is a way to skip these things, but it costs money, but we'll get to that later, I guess. I don't think anything isn't time-based, is it? I'm not missing anything. Like the farming, everything, they're all based on time.
Yeah, I think that everything is time-based. It either takes X amount of time to grow or for the materials to be created, or it's time-based in that the deterioration happens over a set amount of time. I'm thinking here specifically of the pets, like health bars or whatever. So that's all. It's all pretty much, based on time. And as per most mobile games, as you've mentioned, you can kind of get around that by using their in-game currency thing. If you want, but or you can just wait.
So first of all, I guess we'll talk about the actual farming. So you have fields that you put down on the ground. You have to plow it, you plant, you wait, you harvest, and then you start again.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that kind of struck me about this is you're very limited in the amount of space you have for farming.
Mm-hmm.
So I think to start with, you get like four squares? Something like that.
It's not a lot. It's definitely like 4 or 5 squares that you can farm on, and
Yeah. You get more as you level up, though.
well,
But
you get the ability to buy more as you
well,
level.
yes. But I mean, I'll get to this later. But coins are not my issue right now. Um,
Right.
I know, but you'll find out why later. But yeah, so you can buy more later. But I am at
Mm-hmm.
level 20, which is I think halfway to max level. I think there are 40 levels.
Yeah.
And I currently have 32 farming squares, and I bought all the ones I'm allowed to buy. So it's still not very many, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like the amount of time I've put into this game, if I'd put it into a normal farming game, I would have a lot more space for farming.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I mean, that's part of the attraction of the game, though, or not the attraction of the game. That's like the mechanic of the game is they want you to have to come back to like,
Sure.
yeah,
But there's no
because
way
you
to
don't
upgrade
have,
that.
hmm?
I think the weird thing about this is you can't even pay to upgrade that. Like if you're at level 20, the maximum you can have is 32.
Mm-hmm.
There is
That's
you
fair.
can't, no matter how much money you throw at the game, you cannot get any more.
You still
That's
got it.
it.
You just got to come back in 5 minutes when your weed is done.
Oh, but I want to grow more at the same time. You know, it just seems that to me is the weird bit. And it's the same with everything, right? So,
Yeah.
there's a maximum number of chickens and cows and sheep and pigs and goats. You can't have any more than
Mm-hmm.
what they let you have, no matter how much not even if you pay them real money, can you do that? And that seems weird to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you get more as you level. So like I've already hit the point where I can have 2 cow pens and I'm in
Yes.
level 19. You can have 2 cow pens, 2 chicken pens, and then 2 windmills and things like that. So you can get extras, but like it comes with time and your level, not with your monetary ability.
Yeah, no.
So
Yeah. And that's
yeah.
what's weird to me. Like so
Yeah.
much of this game is based around time, but you can pay us to shorten it. And it's weird
Yeah.
to me that they don't let you buy more,
Mm-hmm.
and especially with like most farming games, the way that they work is that there's a general progression that you'll have. But if you somehow end up with a lot of money, like you just manage to get something that grows really well and makes a lot of profit, you can then just buy a lot of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no limit to how much you can buy other than like the land that you have. And that's I guess the weird bit about this game to me.
It's like it makes you pace yourself.
Don't make me do
Um,
that. Hate it when games like to do this, right? It's a very modern thing to do. It's like a game goes, oh, you don't want to guzzle this game, as Will would say on
yeah.
on the Pokemon podcast. You have to take your time, and it's like, well, why do I have to take my time? Why can't I just play the game like I want to play the game? And that's,
Well, so
yeah,
with this game, I feel like if you could guzzle the game and you could get to the end, I think like a lot of the incentive to keep playing, if you don't just find enjoyment of just checking it every couple of hours and progressing in some way, if you do want to complete it and that's what you're looking for is just the completion aspect of it, if they can extend that as long as they possibly can, and make it so that you can't just do that like overnight or whatever, then they're making you use the game for the longest period that they can. They're maximizing like the use time.
yeah. I think it's actually more likely to put me off the game rather than
Yeah.
like I wouldn't be surprised if after today I just fizzle away from it.
Yeah. That's fair.
Whereas if it wasn't limiting me in those ways, I may well have played it for a few more days and then probably stopped. But
Mhm.
yeah, it just seems, yeah, it's annoying me. But anyway, so yeah, that's the kind of mechanics of the farming. You plow the ground, you wait. I think you can actually speed up the farming by watering them. So
Mhm.
later on in the game, you get access to to a well which you can get water out of, and then you can speed it up by using that. But as with everything, you have a very limited amount of that. So it's not
But
like
it
you can't just
regenerates.
keep using the water. It does regenerate, but again, slowly.
Yeah.
At some point in the game, you get access to a tractor, which I first of all thought was really stupid because it's really difficult to control to start with. And I was like, this doesn't feel quicker with so few. I think I got it when I had something like 20 plots of land, and it feels like such a weird thing to want to speed that up. However, I realized not just does it harvest, but it also plows the land at the same time. So if you are harvesting a decent number of crops, it does actually speed it up because you just drive over the crops and then you're ready to plant again.
Yeah, I think the other thing is that you get more experience if you use the tractor.
Yeah, sure.
But I also think it's very fun. So that was one thing I really liked. Like, it's not just like you select the tractor and then you click the plant. Like, it makes you actually drive the tractor. So there's a wheel, like a steering wheel on the left-hand side, and then on the right-hand side there's a gas and a reverse. And so you actually have to like drive the tractor. And I guess that's another thing is that you turn, this is a game that you have to turn your phone sideways for. Is that the true for you as well? Okay, yeah. So
yes. Although that's one thing that really annoyed me. All of the marketing shows the screen the other way around. Right. So if you go to the App Store, it shows you a bunch of screenshots that look like it's just playing the game, but the phone is in portrait. That's really weird. Why do they do that?
Yeah. So when you actually play the game, it puts it into landscape mode, and you have to turn your phone over. And so I know that another of our friends, Steve from It's Super Effective, the Pokemon podcast, like he hates when games do that. So that was something that popped out when the game started. I was like, oh no, some people might not like this game because you have to play it in landscape. It doesn't bother me as much. So
I certainly don't hate it, but I would prefer not to have to do that. If there was an option to do it the other way, I'd like that. And I think the annoying thing for me was it implied that you could do it that way. And I looked through all the settings. There's no way to make it work like that.
Yeah.
Especially as I found that, so my phone is one of the weird ones with like a 22:9 screen ratio. So it's quite thin compared to how long it is. And they've clearly not thought that through because a lot of the UI elements kind of bunch over each other. And so there's just a few things that are a little bit weird. Most of the time it's fine, but there's just a few bits and pieces that they've clearly not tested it on that ratio of screen.
Yeah.
And it just makes it a little bit weird. But yeah, it's not the end of the world. I was just annoyed by it implying that you could play it in portrait, and you can't. Don't do that. Don't show a portrait screenshot if you can't play the game in portrait.
Deceptive.
So the tractor is kind of fun, but it's also very weird because it's the only thing in the game so far that is like that. Everything else is point, click, it's done. Whereas this is the only thing that you're actually controlling, and that's a bit weird. I suspect that the mining might be similar, but we don't know. That doesn't exist yet, and we'll get to that later on in the game. But other than that, nothing else in the game that I've noticed is like that. You don't control anything else. You're just like, do this, do that,
Well, so there is a fishing boat that unlocks at level 23. And you can fish and swim by boat is what it says. So that might be available through that as well.
Maybe,
but like,
maybe.
Again, I don't.
I mean, this is one of the problems is that we've been playing this game for like, what, a week and a half? Something like that?
Yeah, yep.
And we've not unlocked all of the features of the game.
Well, I kind of like that. So I think
features.
that's one thing. Like this game has been rather entertaining for me and pleasant. Like I've enjoyed playing it, and it's free. Like, and I haven't put money into it. And I don't think that.
Let's get to that discussion later. The money discussion is later.
Yes, we will put that later. But like, I personally feel like my game experience is not limited because I have not put money into it. Like it's not pay to play, in my opinion. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not pay to play, but we'll get to that discussion later. So the other thing about growing crops is you've also got fruit trees. They are, again, very limited in how many you have. They also, I find these interesting because they take forever. Like
They
to get
do.
an apple, you have to wait 8 hours. To get a cherry, you have to wait, like, I think it's 12 hours. It's a lot of hours.
I haven't placed a cherry tree yet. I hadn't been able to afford it, but I just realized that I think nope, I still can't afford it. So yeah, I haven't gotten that yet. Oh, and I
I'm
just
also
realized,
I'm growing my blackberry bush, so I don't know how long the blackberries take for that. I've still got an hour until I can
oh, I'm
figure
sure
that
it's
out.
gonna take longer than the trees take.
Probably, yeah,
It
probably.
just, it's kind of a ever increasing thing, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're not you have to let me try that again. Those are words. They're fun.
I believe in you.
The main difference, I guess, with the trees is you have to water them. So you water them, and then they kind of get covered in blossom, and then they grow their fruit after X number of hours, and
Does
then
the
you
cherry
harvest them.
tree get covered in pink blossoms?
Yeah, yeah, it
Oh my
does.
gosh, that's so cute. Because the apple tree's white. So
Yeah, the apple tree is weird because it's like completely blossom, so it just looks like it's snowy.
yeah.
Also very weird that you can get cherry blossom while it's currently snowing in game. That doesn't feel right. Those happen at different times of the year.
I mean, you're not wrong. So-
Yeah, so I don't think there's much more to say about the crops aspect of the game.
no, I don't. I think that pretty much covers it.
It's fairly simple. There's a lot of different ones. There's wheat, corn, carrots, sugarcane, pumpkins, cotton, potatoes. There's beans. Were they just called beans? I think they were
I think they're
called.
pea. Here, I'll
Yeah,
plant some right
they're
now.
called
Beans. Nope,
beans.
they are beans.
Yep.
I'm sure that
Um,
they're meant to be soybeans.
Something like that. And there's more. There's more to unlock. But yeah, there's quite a lot of crops. Just looking through my list, I have currently 5 that are grayed out. So there are 5 more crops for me to get, but I don't know
Yeah,
what they are.
I'm at the same.
Yeah, so I guess let's move on to animals. So they work in very, very similar way in that you create your pen for them, you put them in, and then you have to feed them, and then after a while you get something from them. And then you feed them, you get something from them. And that's pretty much it. So you've got chickens that you get eggs from, you've got cows you get milk from, you've got sheep that you get wool from, and then the weird one, you get pigs that you get bacon from. That's weird, right?
Yeah.
That's very
Yes.
weird. You're just like, what, are you just peeling it off them? And then
I
that sounds like animal abuse to me.
Yeah, that was the weird one. When I saw that they had pigs, I was like, "Oh man, I wonder like are you going to
Is it going
have
to be
to?"
truffles or?
Oh, I hadn't thought of truffles. I thought like, "Oh, are pigs going to be like, you harvest them and then you have to buy more pigs." That's what like I was curious like I had assumed would happen.
Yeah.
But no,
Nope,
you
they took
just
the
collect
weirdest
bacon off
possible
of them
option.
and then you feed them again and they're fine with it.
Yeah. Well, you don't know they're fine with it, right?
My pig's happiness meter is at 5. It's
Oh,
fine
that's
with
true. That's true. Yeah, there is the happiness meter. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's very weird
I
peeling
should give.
bacon off a pig.
I
I believe
also
there are goats as well that you get goat milk from, and
Mhm.
there are 2 other animals that look like a cat and a dog, but you already have a cat or a dog, so I don't know where that comes in.
I think you can buy like other ones later. So like if you chose, so I
Right.
guess that's one question. I don't know if that's on the list. Did you get a cat or a dog?
I got a dog.
Yeah, same.
However, to be honest, I don't get too sure. I kind of want to get rid of my dog
Can you?
because I don't think you can, no, which is why I haven't. But it's it's a little bit annoying to me because I don't really get any benefit from it. It's only a hindrance in that you have this mechanic in the game where every day you get a chest in game depending on how happy your animals are. But it's based on percentage of happiness. So if you don't look after your dog or your cat, it affects your percentage. If you didn't have it, it wouldn't affect your percentage.
Why aren't you looking after your dog?
Of course. Well, I am. I am looking after my dog.
My percentage is always at 100.
Well, so is mine, but only because I want to keep it that way, right? I don't want to have to waste my time. I don't get anything from looking after the dog. I just get the happiness, which if I didn't have the dog, I wouldn't need the happiness. It's just a waste of my time and my money because I have to keep buying medicine because this dog keeps getting ill somehow.
Well, so the medicine, you can make syrup.
Yeah, I know. I've started doing that, but they take like 3 hours to make that. Ugh.
Also, I'm pretty sure Mr. Moneybags, the medicine is like 30 coins.
Yeah, but it's something I didn't need to do. Nobody asked me if I wanted it. They just went, which one do you want? And I went, okay, I guess I'll take the dog because I'm not exactly going to take a cat, am I? Right?
Well, you can't be a farmer without a dog.
Oh, there's like, but that's fine. But like so Stardew, for example, you don't need to do anything with the dog. It's happy. You never have any issues. That's fine.
I pet my dog every day in Stardew, and I fill his water dish every single day. You don't have
Congratulations.
to. But I do.
This is my problem. The dog does not give you any benefit. It's only a hindrance. Unless you specifically like taking care of it.
Yeah, so I guess that's one thing that we were going to talk about later with the orders. There are some that you can more easily complete if you take care of your dog, but we can talk about that later.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to talk about that because I didn't know about that. But yeah, let's talk about that when it comes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it'd be more interesting. It'd be more interesting if the dog or cat like brought you random things at some point. You know, like in Trio of Towns, that's what your pet does. You keep your pet, and then they will go out and find you some treasure or something. That I could get. That'd be good because that's giving me a benefit. But it doesn't give me any benefit other than I guess you get some experience. That's it.
Mm-hmm. I do adore. So there's different like toys that you can play with your dog with that you get throughout just regular gameplay. And so you actually like choose one of the toys and then throw them for your dog, and your dog chases after it and catches it. And then you click on your dog and it gives you experience points for it. So you can literally just play fetch with your dog.
Yeah.
And I think that's
fun.
So I like it because I don't have to like go outside. Whereas if with my actual real dog, I would have to go outside. No, I'm kidding. This is all kidding. I bought him a little dog house. I don't know. It's funny because I almost never care about aesthetics in games, but you give me a pet and I will get everything for it. Like I want to get this dog, the dog bed that you can get. They're appealing to my heart here. There's an exclusive dog house that unlocks at level 34.
I'm never getting to level 34. Let's be honest. I'm not against the idea of this animal, right?
You just don't like that it impacts your happiness, overall happiness score.
Yes, and it forces me to have it, right? If it didn't force me to have the dog, or the happiness was like a number of hearts, and so I didn't need to keep the dog up to date, or the dog gave me some actual benefit in game, one of those three options, I'd be perfectly happy, right? But it's this, you have to have it. It doesn't give you any real benefit, and it impacts your happiness score, which impacts real things in the game. It is only a negative because I don't tend to care about how things look in game and like all these weird little things. Like, yeah, sure, my dog has a hat and glasses on, but that's only because the game makes you do it the first time, and I've not bothered to take them off.
Right? Wait, have you not put a hat and glasses on all of your animals?
No, I haven't. Of course I haven't. Man. What a waste of time and money. Like, is that what you're spending all your money on?
You don't have to spend money on it.
Really?
Yeah, like if you just click a random, so like all of my cows, chickens, not horses, pigs and sheep, they all have it. And once you have it in your, like access to it in your inventory, you can do it. So I have 4 different types of glasses. 6 different types of hats, and you just click an animal, and it just gives it to them. And I like it because if you get a new animal, so when you first get a new animal, its happiness level is 0. But if you give it a hat, its happiness level goes up.
Yeah, interesting.
Like
I'm not going to do that.
It's super cute.
That's fine. And I'm glad it's there and I'm glad you're happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not going to bother doing it because I don't.
No,
really
that's
care.
totally fine. You don't have, again, it's one of those like you don't have to things.
Yeah.
The other cool thing that I've noticed with the animals that isn't necessary, but you can do it to get random experience points, is every now and then there'll just be in some of their pens like a little pile of poo, and you can click it and you get like 20 experience just for cleaning it up.
Yeah, it's not just in their pens, it's also random other places, which is interesting because I'm wondering how they got out to the random places. But yeah, I've found it in places where there have never been animals.
Oh.
I guess it could be my dog, maybe.
Oh, yeah, probably. Though I did have once, I had a chicken like walking around outside of the pen. I was like, sweet baby, what is you doing? It must have been like a glitch or something, but.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I thought that was a cute little thing.
Poo, yeah. Oh, there's
the
some.
other thing about the art or about the animals before we move on, is I love the art style of them.
The blockiness.
Yeah, the blockiness of them, and particularly like if your dog is so your dog does a bunch of really cute things. One of them, do you know what it means when an animal sploots?
I have no idea what that word is.
Okay, so if you think of, I always think of it as like a Shiba Inu dog, like the Japanese, like Akita-like dogs. Have you seen those types of dogs?
That's the one that's like Doge.
Yeah, so like a Doge. Dogs like those, that breed does this a lot, but some other breeds do it as well, where they sploot. And so it's instead of sitting like a normal dog where their back legs kind of like fold under them and then their front legs go forward, they'll put their back legs like behind them and they'll just put their bellies straight on the ground, and so their front legs go out in front of them and their back legs go behind them. Have you ever seen that? Like a real dog do that?
I don't tend to pay that much attention to dogs, so I don't think so.
I'm a huge dog person. Anyways, it's called splooting. And it's adorable, and your dog does that in this game. And the first time it happened, I lost my mind. Because it'll sit, oh my gosh, it totally just did it too. It'll sit normal, but then every now and then it'll do this. And see, it just switched back to sitting normal. But sometimes the legs just go behind it and it's it just switched again. What are you doing with your life? The other thing is that, so your dog runs around your farm, and if your dog is in the road when one of the cars goes by, it gets like squished.
Gets squished. Yeah.
It like flattens and then it'll pop back up. And I remember when I had the game sound on, I turned game sound off so quick for most games.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
When I had the game sound on, it makes like this like popping noise when your dog like squishes. It was so cute. Yeah, he popped back up. It was very cute.
Yes, yep. I noticed that as well. I think it happens with the frogs as well, the random frogs around the town.
Yep, and I think I've seen it happen with a fox and a bunny. So
it's an interesting way to deal with animals getting run over by cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's animals.
Mm-hmm.
Next, there's a bunch of like random machines, which are basically just for processing things. So, for example, there's one that turns your sugarcane into sugar. You can, turn then other. I've written flour down in the document. Actually, is there flour, or have I just made that up? I don't think there is flour. I think you just put wheat into multiple things.
Yeah, so in the bakery, you just do wheat.
Yeah. I'm just talking nonsense here, apparently.
I mean, it's kind of one step removed, right? Isn't?
Yeah. So there's like one that makes bread and cookies and stuff like that. There's one that makes different pies and one that makes different cakes. There's one that makes pancakes and eggs and bacon. And the weirdest one is a hamburger that doesn't have any beef in it. It is just bacon. And an
Just
egg, apparently.
yeah.
You put in bread and egg and bacon and you get hamburger.
Well, we don't get burger. We don't get cow meat at all.
I know, but you get bacon. So
So
there
it's
you
like the
go.
proxy for all meat is the bacon.
I mean,
The
a burger
developers
with
don't
bacon
like
is
pigs.
good. But a burger with just bacon, now that's a bacon sandwich.
That's a BLT right there.
There's no L or T. It's just a B.
There is in the picture.
Maybe.
But
Anyway,
we don't have lettuce or tomato in the game. So
no, it's very abstract. But yeah, they're reasonably simple. I guess the way that they work is like, so you pull, you press on the machine, it comes up with a screen. You get shown all the things you can currently make with this, and then you pull one over to the kind of empty slot, and then it starts making it if you have all the ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
It also then has like extra slot slash for queuing them up. So if you put one in and then you put one in a queue slot, then once the first one finishes, it'll start making the second one. I think by default, every machine only has one queue slot, but you can spend gems to add more slots on.
Mm-hmm. I accidentally bought a slot on one of one of the
only
windmills,
one, not on
but
one. I have bought so many slots on these things.
have you really? I hadn't done that at all, and then I accidentally bought one. I actually totally didn't even realize that you could buy one until I accidentally bought another one. I was like, oh, that's what that's for.
So I've bought 3 extra slots on my dairy, 1 extra slot on my pie oven, 3 on my barbecue grill, apparently none on my loom, 4 on my stove, none on my cake oven, 3 on my bakery, and 3 on my sugar mill.
Yeah, I've only bought 1 extra one on a windmill, and I did it on accident.
Oh yeah, on my windmills, I've bought 3 each on my windmills.
Those are, in my opinion, those are the ones that are really important.
Yeah, you go through.
You gotta be able to feed your animals.
Yeah, so that's the other one that we haven't mentioned is you make animal feed with the windmills.
Yeah.
So and of course, just to be extra annoying, it's completely different food for every single animal. So currently there are 4 different ones that I have. I know there's at least one more for the goats when I unlock them.
They have different nutritional needs. So
Sure, but it's a game, right? It's not trying to be accurate. They're peeling bacon off a pig. I don't think we can go for accuracy here.
I think that for like in the real, I think for cows and sheep, we use soybeans.
Yes.
In reality to feed them. So they use the beans for that. And then the the pigs, they use corn and carrots, which seems legit.
And it's corn and wheat for the chicken feed. I don't know whether you would give them wheat or not. That feels like just adding on an extra bit, so it's not just corn, because that would be too easy. But
I mean, seeds. I think you could give seeds to chickens, but either way. Yeah, they've got to make it difficult because you can't just buy one type of food. And then, of course, is the moment when you're like, oh, I need cow food, and you accidentally put in sheep food, and the sheep food takes like a half an hour.
Yeah, and the only way to stop that is to pay gems to speed it up. You can't cancel it or
you just gotta wait.
That's annoying. So that's the machines. There's not a huge amount to say to them. There's the loom. We didn't mention the loom, which you can make jumpers and hats and stuff from.
So that was the thing that that was in there that I was like, oh, I don't have that, but I realized I do have. Oh,
is that a level 20 thing?
No, it's not. I just haven't had the money to buy it yet, so I haven't bought it yet. But so in your version of it, does it say jumpers?
Oh, I've no idea. Come on. I'm just probably using the word that I know of. Okay. What does it say? It says sweater.
Okay. Because that's
sweater.
I don't have it yet, so I'm not sure. But I would be curious if they used different words for the different.
No, it's sweater. I would just never use that word, and I had no idea what it said. So I just wrote what it was. It was a jumper. Okay. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I was curious. I'm actually going to.
So that's the machines. You just unlock different ones as you go along. And then we get on to, well, I guess we'll quickly talk about the fact that fishing does exist, but neither of us unlocked it yet, so we don't know how it works. Sorry. Because that's at level 22, I think. No, 23. 22 is the extra farmland, which is really funny, the fact that you can unlock extra farmland at 22, because I'm like, I have bought everything is possible to buy other than decorations. Why would I want more land yet? Let me buy more stuff.
Well, I wonder if like when you buy extra land, it increases your capacity.
Possibly, but like I've not even covered half of my land, and I'm at level 20 just now. Let's not go back into that. Yeah, so the fishing unlocks at level 23. Don't know how it works. There is meant to be mining in the game, but it isn't implemented yet. And the interesting thing about this one is I saw people like commenting about the fact that it's been ages since they'd mentioned that it was coming and it still isn't there. And that those comments were like a year ago. So I get the indication based on that and their social media presence that I feel like they may have stopped implementing the game. But who knows? Like if you, I can't find anything from them anywhere that's recent. Which is, you know, a little bit weird.
I mean, there was a plague in the last year. I give them a little bit of a benefit of the doubt there.
Sure. Okay. Apparently they did have an update in December.
Well, yeah, because there's a Christmas tree that you could get gifts from. So I would assume that they would have something. They at least implemented that at some point. But like that might have been something that was already in the game the year before, and they literally just had to be like, turn the Christmas tree back on. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I've not like found any kind of like, they have a website, but it hasn't been updated in multiple years. I can't find a Twitter page for them. They have a Facebook, but the last post was in 2019, June 2019. So yeah, I kind of get the implication that they're not really doing much work on it just now, but it'd be nice to be able to use that feature. But anyway, so those are the two features that I just wanted to mention before we get into the next bit, which is buying and selling. So obviously it's all very well and good making all these things, but as with every farming game, you need to make money because otherwise you can't, keep buying stuff. So there are multiple ways to make money. One of them is that you can visit other people in the world's farms and buy stuff from them. And obviously then you can sell stuff to them. The way that works is you've got, oh, cool, somebody bought my jumpers.
I just bought one of your jumpers.
You bought my jumper. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So on your farm, you have like a little stall at the front of it, which is quite cute. And you can put things in it for a certain price, and then people can come and buy it from you. And then you get the money. It's kind of cool. This is where the money grabbiness starts to come in, which we'll talk about fully. But like, if you put something in the shop, unless it's sold, you have to pay gems to stop the sale. Which is a little bit ridiculous in my mind. Like, especially as I accidentally put something up once. And I'm like, I either now need to let that be sold or spend gems to get it back.
Yeah.
Which is a bit annoying. But we'll have a proper discussion about the money later on. But other than that, it's quite cool. So like, I've been to Codey's farm and bought some stuff from your stall. You've obviously bought my jumper. And you can, there's a way to kind of get random people's ones in a magazine style thing as well. So you can see, I've got a list of, I think it's 18 different farms just now. Selling eggs, wheat, slippers, bacon and eggs, beans, dynamite, soy sauce. You can just go to any of these and buy them, which is kind of cool. Do you have any thoughts on that bit?
I like that updates every now and then. So when I was first playing the game, I did that a lot. If I needed something for a quest, I didn't want to wait for it. Then I would just go and see what people were selling. And even so, for example, here there's a farm and it says that they're selling 10 wheat for 20 coins. But if I click it, I can go and see like everything else that they have in their shop.
Yeah.
So they have other things as well. So you can kind of like go through everyone's shop, like random people's shops, and then it updates in 40 seconds it'll update to 18 new bids.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool because that would be one thing. Oh, did you buy some of my wheat? Um,
Not right now.
oh, someone bought my wheat. That's one thing is like if you were to be reliant on friends that you know buying your stuff, that would kind of not be great. So like
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
I had this shop and I was like, Al, please come buy my dynamite because no one's buying my dynamite, and I want it
Your
sold,
dynamite's
blah, blah, blah,
sold.
blah. No, it's still there.
It's saying
Um,
sold for me.
oh, they're still, but yeah, so that's something that is cool. And one thing I noticed is you can manipulate the price, but only to a point. But also it seems like a lot of the people that play like know what price things should be. So if you
Yeah.
raise the price too much, as I have done on my dynamite, um, then it won't sell. So you can it sets the price automatically and it's not a terrible price. So you can just sell it for the price that it puts up instead of increasing the price.
So that's interesting because I've actually found the opposite. I've managed to sell everything eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Even so there's like a maximum price you can sell them for
Yeah.
each item. And yeah, I always put everything in at the maximum price and they always seem to
Oh.
sell. So I don't know whether people just like my shop or not.
I mean, it's got to be that because I've had those dynamite in there for a hot minute and
Yeah, they
they
are
ain't
showing as
selling.
sold for me. I can't buy them. I click on it and it says it's sold.
Yeah, I click on it. It says, "Are you sure you want to cancel this sale?"
That's weird. Sounds like there's a bug.
Oh no. Um, but yeah, so I liked it. It gives a sense of like an auction house type
Yeah.
thing, like some type of social aspect of it, which I like. So,
Yeah, I think it's good fun.
hmm
It's quite nice being able to kind of, because obviously up until that point, you don't realize that it is actually an online game.
hmm
You kind of feel like it's just a completely local game, but it is. Yeah, that's quite fun. There's other ways to sell stuff. So, unlike in other farming games, there's not like here's your bucket, throw everything in the bucket, and it will be sold.
hmm
Um, which is a little bit annoying, but there are other ways to sell. So the main other way is with orders. So you have next to your house a little orders board, and it will update with different things that people around the town want. So, for example, I have one here with a factory with like 3 pancakes, 3 creams, and 3 butters.
hmm
And if I do that, I will get 379 coins and 146 experience. And so I can click the button and send that off. Although I don't think, do I want to do that just now? Yes, I do, apparently. I'm not needing those for anything else just now.
hmm
And then your little truck drives off with the stuff and then comes back with the money.
hmm
Once you unlock the tractor, which we discussed in the crops part of it, you can also get tractor orders, which are very similar to the truck ones, but they tend to be higher prices, higher amounts, and you have to drive the tractor over there yourself.
I am
Um,
actually currently doing one of these.
as we speak.
And it is wild. Like I am driving like an absolute maniac. Also, I think that I love the physics of this game because if there's another car on the road, like
Oh,
it will make me stop. Like you can't drive through another car or
yeah.
whatever. So
So
it's pretty fun.
the interesting thing I've found is that, have you noticed that there's a time bonus?
For like how fast you get it there?
Yeah, and also a clean drive bonus.
I have not noticed that. I need to pay more
So
attention next time.
yeah, if you do it quickly, it doesn't tell you how quickly beforehand. It's just if you get there in time, like back, it's all the way as well. If you get all the way back to the farm in time, it will say you
Yeah.
got a time bonus. And if you don't hit anything on the way, you get a clean drive bonus.
I'm never getting that
Um,
one.
which I got both in one go today, and it was so satisfying. I
What?
went to the the fishing place. I managed to get all the way to the fishing place, all the way back without hitting anything, and it was a time bonus, and I was so satisfied with that.
I don't think I've ever
Ridiculous.
had something. Oh, the fish harbor?
Yeah.
I've not ever had anything that I had to go there for. It's always just been the cinema or the casino for me, but
Right. Interesting. Yeah, I've had a few for the fish harbor. But
I
yeah.
mean, that looks like it's an easy drive.
Just you wait. Just you wait. I'll see what you say when you've done one. So yeah, they're just a little added benefit in that you have to drive. Added aspect to it in that you have to drive, but you do get higher payouts for them. Mm-hmm. And then the final type of order is train orders. So is it level 18? You unlock the train station?
It's either 18 or 19. I have unlocked it, so...
Yeah. You unlock the train station once you obviously pay to fix it up, as with everything in this game. You, every so often, so I think it's like every 12 to 18 hours or so, a train comes by, and you have to load it up with a bunch of stuff and then send within a certain amount of time. So I currently have one there that is expecting me to give it some pumpkin pies, some corn, and some, I think that was milk, but I've already done that. And I have to do it all within 15 hours. And that's when the train leaves. You can send it away earlier if you're finished, but that's the sort of your time limit. They're
Is
quite
it all
fun.
6?
You have to fill all 6, I think. Yeah.
Like a quantity of 6?
Six carriages.
And does each item have a quantity of 6? Because when I had my first train, I had to do like 6 brown sugar, but I had like 2 carts that were 6 brown sugar.
So it depends on the thing. So for example, I have my pumpkin pies. It's 2 carriages of 2.
Oh,
so I think it depends on what it is. Whereas my corn is 2 carriages of 42.
Okay. Yeah, that's
I think my milk was something like 12 or something. So it's different amounts depending on how complicated they are. Mm-hmm. So I just need one more pumpkin pie, which is currently cooking, and then to grow some more corn, which I will do as soon as these pumpkins finish growing in 48 minutes.
Can you water them?
I don't have that much water. Oh, okay. It's fine. I've got 15 hours to finish this off. It's not a rush. I can do it in the morning if I need to.
Yeah, I like that because I don't have a train right now. It says train arrives in 3 hours, whatever. Yeah. But it tells me what I need to prepare.
Yes, I thought that was quite nice because it's time limited, but it also then warns you as to what you will need, which is quite nice. Although it doesn't tell you how much.
No, but I have a bunch of cheese and pancakes, so I think I'm good.
Yeah, I've not found any of them really difficult to do. My last one, I was very close. I only managed it with half an hour to go. But I was quite busy at it for a lot of the time. So if you're kind of focused on it, you can get it done. I think that was needing cookies, and cookies take like half an hour, I think, to bake. So getting a decent amount of them was quite difficult. And I'd already, I'll tell you, this is where the annoying thing was. I accidentally pulled bread into it, which is really annoying. So it's like you go... I was like pulling across cookies and then accidentally pulled the bread across just because my finger slipped. There's no way to get it out. Thankfully, bread only takes like 10 minutes. But
got to open up that extra slot.
But the bread's still in the way. That's the problem, right? Like I still need to wait for the bread to be done before I can do it.
That's fair.
So that's the orders. So I think that's kind of the main way to get most of your money, other than selling at your roadside farm. But there is a final way, which is that you can get quests. So you'll have people turn up at your farm and say, hey, I need 2 apples, or hey, I need you to play with your pet, or hey, I need you to go and watch some ads. I'm not joking. That's an actual thing they do.
See, so it doesn't bother me as much. So what I will do is I'll open this up while I'm working or something, and if I have to watch a bunch of ads, I'll just start the ad, and it's 30 seconds, and I'll have my media muted so I don't hear anything, and I just kind of like set my phone aside and keep working, and then like look over 30 seconds later and be like, okay, the ad's done, like done.
Yeah, I'm not objecting to it as so much. It's
Mm-hmm.
more like I think this is we'll talk about the money in a bit. The ads are generally pretty good in this game and they're not very in your face.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit annoying when they pop up and say, "Hey, go look at ads and we'll give you some more experience." It's just kind of
Yeah.
it feels a little bit in your face. I get
Yeah.
why they do it at the beginning because it's like because there's different. They've got like a casino where if you watch an ad, you get a spin on a wheel and it gives you something, and they've
Mm-hmm.
got a cinema where if you watch an ad, you get some coins.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have birds flying over that give you gems if you watch an ad. Those are fine. I have no objection to those at all. And I have absolutely no objection to them giving you a quest at the beginning to
Mm-hmm.
introduce you to those mechanics. It just feels a little bit annoying when they pop up again randomly. And you can skip those quests.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to skip things in games. um,
Yeah, you can skip any quest that you don't like. So there were some
yeah,
quests in the beginning that it only gives you coins. It doesn't give you like another item as well.
yeah,
And I didn't like that. I was like, if I'm giving you 30 of my corn or whatever, I don't want just money. You need to give me more. So I would skip those quests. And then that person would leave, and then within like 30 seconds, someone else would pop up, would drive into your
yes,
farm and then give you another quest. And so you can skip them if you want. And there's no I think that's the one thing is I would despise it if you had to pay to skip the quests, but you don't. You can just do it. Skip however many you would like.
yes. Yeah, I'm not really complaining about it. It just feels a little bit meh to me, you
Yeah,
know?
that's fair.
Um,
That's fair.
yeah.
I do like that they each have so like each person kind of gives the same like types of quests. So Mary, for example, um she works at the pet store. Like her car will drive to the pet store after she's done at your farm, and
Oh,
she will often have the quests that are like, oh, get 12 hearts or whatever,
yeah.
or heal your pet or whatever. And so
Yeah.
that's one thing, the get 12 hearts one, that's one of the benefits of having the dog, is that you can get heart if your dog is very low on hearts and you see Mary like rolling into your place, you can be like, oh, I'm gonna wait to feed my dog and do all
Oh,
of the taking care of my
shocking.
dog, because
Can't
once
believe you'd
she's
wait.
parked once
He's
she's
hungry
parked
now.
oh, he'll survive. Once she's parked, that's when she's like, because if you see her driving in and you're like, oh, I'm gonna harvest all of my animals, right? Then you don't get it once she's like past your threshold. Like she has to
Yeah.
actually like park and be like, this is what I want. So you have to wait for her to get settled.
Yeah.
Um, so then but the animals hearts one, the 12 get 12 hearts from your animals. You can get the ones from your dog as well to do that. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. They're fine. They're just like a little thing. They don't tend to give you a huge amount, but I'm sure it would be very helpful, especially if you're low on cash.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think that's all the way to get money. As I mentioned, there's no way to just like say, I just want to sell everything I have, like most farming games tend to have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's like you constantly have to be like checking what you have and make sure you have the right things for the quests and the orders. And like trying to sell stuff to people online.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like it would be nice if there was that one extra, just like you can just shove stuff in here and it will just sell, even if it's sold for like, a lower amount than you kind of default to selling on the stall or whatever. It'd be nice to kind of just have a thoughtless, I don't care about these. I just want to get clear out my inventory, especially
Yeah.
as you have a limited inventory. Um,
Mm-hmm. I
you
mean, you
know,
can increase it, but
sure, but it
it
costs a lot. You're like, I've increased it a huge amount and it's still only 300 in my silo and 325 in my barn.
mm-hmm.
And I've done a lot in this game to be able to upgrade. Like I suspect you're nowhere near that.
I'm at 250 for both.
Right, okay.
Um, but I go to the cinema and the casino pretty much every time I open the game, even if it's not
Right.
required, because You can get the coins. I'm usually short on coins because I'm trying to get everything and do everything in the game. So, and a lot of these things can be fairly expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll go to the cinema, for example, or not the cinema, the casino, and I'll get like an item from that. Or I'll fulfill a lot of orders or a lot of quests. And so I end up usually having the items when I need them. I think I've only had to use gems a handful of times to like actually do the upgrade.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't super bother me. Usually if it's like, oh, you need to upgrade your barn, then I'll just go put a bunch of orders in all of my
Right.
machines and everything, and then that clears out my space because I've used a bunch of items.
Yeah, I'll finish my thought on that in the money section, I think. But yes.
Okay.
It's just, it would be nice if there was a way to just kind of dump everything in to sell it because of that limited inventory. But I'll finish my thought later. The last feature, unless there's something I've missed, is the trading cards. Well, I call them trading cards. They're not trading cards. You don't trade them. They're just cards. Collecting cards, I guess, then.
I think that's what they call them, yeah. Collectible cards is what the game themselves calls them.
So these are cards that you get throughout the game. You get them when you unlock something. So if you go up a level and you unlock the windmill, you get the windmill card. And then you also get them through chests. So you have to get a certain number of cards to be able to upgrade the buildings. So, for example, to get to the mill the windmill to 2 stars, you have to get 5 of its cards, specifically 5 of the 2-star cards, because there are the 2-star cards and the 3-star cards. So once you've got 5 2-star cards, you can then upgrade it, and then you have to get 10 of the 3-star cards to upgrade it to 3 stars.
Yeah.
And that is the same for every item and building. And on top of that, the cards are also for like all of the hats and glasses and stuff like that. So there are a lot of cards to collect in this game. So it feels like it takes forever to get to a point where you can actually upgrade these. So for example, I'm looking at the list of collectibles. There's 109 cards to unlock for the buildings. There are 21 items of 21 hats, 16 glasses, and 23 vehicle ones. I have no idea what happens when you unlock the vehicle ones, actually. I've never cared to look.
I'm not sure. I'm not anywhere close to getting any of the collectibles.
Yeah. So I've managed to unlock the 2-star upgrade for the windmill, and there was something else that I unlocked. The stove. Yeah, the stove. So I've upgraded my windmill and my stove. And I think the 109 is like the different ones. I think that doesn't include the fact that there's 5 and then 10. And then I don't even know what it is for the 4 and 5 stars, because I don't have any of the 4 or 5-star cards at all.
I have a 4-star bakery card that is 25.
25. So I presume then the 5-star will be 50.
Probably. So, I don't have any of the 5-star cards.
So it's like 109 times the average of how many cards it is. So that's probably like 20, right? So it's like 2,000 cards to upgrade everything. And then you also then end up getting all of the other ones. So there's 16 of the glasses, and they average out, I think, like 4 or 3. So that's quite a lot more. And then the hats, there's 21 of them, and they average out to about 3 or 4. And then there's all the other things, of which there are 23. So there's a lot of cards, and it takes a lot of time to get to any point that you can upgrade anything. As I think I wrote in the show notes, the upgrade cards are interspersed with random stuff that I don't care about. So you get chests throughout the game for doing. I think you get one for your for doing a train order. You get one every day depending on how happy your animals have been. You get some in random other places. Is it one of the casino?
Yeah, so there's one for the
No.
cinema for sure. Like every 10 movies that you
Oh,
watch, you
yes.
get a
Yeah.
chest. I don't think there is one in the casino. Like I don't
There's
see one
not
on
in the
the
casino. I just had a look. There's
wheel.
not.
And
Or you can
then
just pay lots of money to get them.
yeah, I mean like you can definitely so if you complete all of your daily tasks, then you
Oh,
get
yeah, there's one you
one.
get there. Yeah.
But sometimes your additional daily tasks are brutal. So like one of mine today, if I wanted to try and get that chest, would be to complete 8 tractor orders. And that's a
Oofed.
lot
8
of
tractor orders.
resources.
That is a lot.
Yeah, and so like right now I for my tractor orders I would have to either have 16 sugar, 15 cornflakes or 4 pies and those all take a hot minute. So
Yeah.
that's not happening. But yeah, you can buy them in like the store. So like right now I have an option. I can buy wait, what?
Looks like I've run out of time to do today's duties. It's not showing me them anymore. It's just showing my rating.
So I guess you can use gems to buy coins, which I did not realize.
Oh, okay, right. I think we're done with trading cards
Should we
then,
just
right?
move on to money?
So, money. So, as with every modern mobile game, there are 2 currencies in this game. There are coins and there are gems. The coins you get by selling stuff or also by buying with gems, or also through occasionally it like pops up with a deal where you can spend some money and get some chests, some gems and some coins. I'm going to be honest with you, Cody. So you've said you've not spent any money on this game.
I have not spent any for reals in the real money, no.
I am going to be honest with you. I have spent like 40 quid on this game.
What is that equivalent?
Like what, $50?
Oh my god.
Uh
I mean, it's your life. Like
I
you can
well,
live it.
I every time it pops up with one of these deals, it's really difficult to say no to them because like they look like such a good deal. It's like this normally costs 130 quid. Now it only costs you 15. You're like, oh wow, that's a really good deal.
Oh no.
I know it's nonsense, right? Because it's all just their in-game stuff. It's whatever they say it is. So yeah, sure, it's a good deal, but that's a good
Right.
deal based on a not good deal in the first place, right?
Yeah.
You can their store. Right. So you can't.
They
I
have
think the most recent one I
gotcha.
did. I think the most recent one I did was 20 quid, and it was like I ended up getting. I think it was 75 different cards.
Oh
And most
wow,
of them were
okay.
just these stupid glasses and hats. I don't care about those stupid glasses and hats. They really do have me. I stopped spending money though. Once I got to that point, I was like, right, no, that's enough. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not spending any more money on this stupid game.
I
So
mean, so like it's up to you for that. So like some people are strictly against spending money on mobile games and then some people I view it as, if it's a game that I enjoy and it's a game that I put a decent amount of my time into, then I don't see the problem in spending money on it. So for example,
yes.
Pokemon Go, I've played quite a bit of Pokemon Go. I've played it every day for since launch pretty much. And so I've like every now and then I'll be like, yeah, I'll put $20 in, like, because
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna play this game for a while. So
Yeah.
it's
I don't
beneficial. And so like I could see it happening. I think that with this game, um, the thing that this game has that Pokemon Go doesn't have is I can get like it's all I have to do is wait. Like it's not like I'm gonna miss out on something if I don't put money into it. I just have to wait.
yeah, of course. Of course.
And since I'm playing it, it's just a for funsies game, like it doesn't super bother me. So whereas Pokemon Go, there's a big fear of missing out on that. So where it's like, oh no, I have to hit level 40 by the end of the year so I can have a Gyarados hat. But yeah, and so like I don't know, it's up to people. Each person can decide if they want to spend the money on it or not. So for me, I just don't. But yeah,
Yeah, that's
that was
yes.
that was.
You you are correct, and that is all very fair and reasonable. However,
Mm-hmm.
this game, I know what you're going to say to this, but this game, to me, is very money grabby, right?
Okay.
So, yes, you could argue it's all about waiting, and yes, you absolutely can do everything in the game and wait. But I don't like it when a game gives you an option of either wait and play this game for 3 months or 6 months or a year, or you can pay us money and get it all done quicker, right? I like to play a game for a few weeks and then be finished with it, right? That's how I play games. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think anyone would say there's anything wrong with that. And I'm generally even okay with the idea of I can't complete this game quickly, right? Like Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
I may not play it anymore. I'm okay with the fact that I've not finished that because it takes a long time. What's annoying me about this is everything in the game, except buying more farmland, is able to be done with, oh, you can just give us more gems, by the way, to do this. And it's like, honestly, I'd prefer you weren't able to do that, because it's literally everything in the game is about spend more money and do it quicker. And on top of that, they also have you looked at the fact that they have a subscription.
So every now and then when you start the game up, it'll mention that kind of thing. Like it'll be like, oh, subscribe. And so you just have to kind of X out, which is also the type of pop-up that I'm assuming has gotten you with the...
Have you looked at the subscription though?
Okay, no, I have not.
So the subscription is very weird, right? You'd think if it was a subscription, it would be like, oh, you get like, X number of chests every day or every week or whatever, and you can, get extra stuff. It has 6 things. You get more experience from your quests. If you buy gems, you get more gems when you buy them. You get more points for completing things. You get a VIP badge and interface look. You get highlighted in the newspaper. And the only thing that's actually of any use, I think, is that you get 3 cards a day, 3 extra cards a day. That's it. That is all. And this costs £13 a month. I presume something like $15 a month.
Okay.
That is an insane amount of money for what is basically just complete the game 5% faster.
Yeah.
I would be totally, if this game had a 40 quid in-game unlock all, like remove gem restrictions or, be able to, if they had like a thing like that, I would absolutely do it because I have enjoyed this game and I probably would enjoy this game for longer if it wasn't so money grabby. But there is no like, oh, just pay to get rid of ads and get some extra stuff. It's like you can pay for these gems and then you can pay for more gems and more gems and more gems. And it's just this, it's very mobile gamey. And, I don't have any objection to that in general, but there's no way to like pay to get specific things in most cases. So like take the cards, for example. You can only get the cards by buying the chests. You can go through 100 chests and not get the card you want.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That's not fun to me. That's, sure, you can go slowly, but that's just not how I want to play games. You know?
That's fair. I think it's for each person to decide. So like that kind of thing doesn't bother me necessarily because it's kind of the same itch that you can scratch from like actual trading card games where though I guess that's not necessarily equivalent because in that like if you're looking for a very specific type of card
you would
go buy the pack that you could just go buy it on eBay or whatever but like you could buy like if you're wanting to buy booster packs but you want one card then you would make sure that you buy the booster pack that has the card in it because you're not going to buy like
but then you also then have the cards that you didn't want and you can sell them. Right here, it's like I have hundreds of cards that are of useless cosmetic items that I do not care about.
Well, I think one benefit is that like it doesn't give you cards that you've already got, right? So
thank goodness for that because there's already about 2,000 cards in the game.
So you're not going to get
more
duplicates.
than that. That was 2,000 for the there's probably about 4,000 cards in the game. Then I'm glad they don't give you extra duplicate ones. That's so generous of them. Oh my word!
But yeah, so like I get just from general gameplay, I get about a minimum of 3 chests a day.
And they're all
And
the
then
gold ones, aren't they? You can't get
yeah,
the purple ones from anything without
no, and
paying.
so the purple ones you can buy them like either. So I had a magic trader the other day, like the special trader guy, the limited time deal that
Oh,
you can
oh,
get. That's right out in front of your
I
house. There's
forgot
like
about that one.
a little
That's
tent
really annoying.
that's a
I have an
guy
opinion
and
about that in a minute.
hmm?
I have an opinion about that once you finish what you're talking about.
And so he just pops up and he has special deals. It reminds me a lot of Crazy Red from Animal Crossing,
Yeah.
where like he just has these crazy deals and he's like, "Oh, they're so great," and I'm like, "These deals suck." Um, but
The chest
sometimes
ones are
it's
good. The
like
chest ones are good.
yeah, so like the chest ones, it's like normally you'd get this chest for 60 gems, but like right now you can get it for 15 gems, but you can only do it once. So it's not like he's there and for the entire duration of the time that he's there, you can just like get it over and over and over again. Like you can only do it
Yeah.
once. And then the other day he had a decoration one and I was like, I do not care. So I just had to wait for him to go away and then wait for him to come back. But
Yeah.
anyways,
So
what's your opinion about the trader guy?
So I have 3 things that annoy me about the magic trader. One
Uh-huh.
is that if you don't buy anything from him, he will keep shouting, and there's this massive speech bubble spreading across half your screen the
Mhm.
entire time he's there. It just pops up and then it goes away. It pops up and it's really annoying. And so
Yep.
there's no way to say like, stop telling me about this. I don't care about this one, right? So that's the first
Yeah.
thing. Second thing is, unless I've missed it, there was no way that said you can only get one of the 2 options. I'm not against only being able to get one of the 2 options, but I don't think it said anywhere before you bought something the first time that you can only get one of the
Oh.
2. So the first one is it popped up and he said, here, you can buy this tent or this fire. And I was like, oh, I'd love a tent and a fire. Clicked on the tent. Oh, he's gone. Can't buy the fire.
Mhm.
So that was really annoying. So that's the second one. Also, I didn't realize there was a tent over near the fishing stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought a tent. It's a pointless tent. Now just sitting around and not doing anything with it. And the third thing, what was the third thing? No, I can't remember what the third thing was. Maybe it was just the fact that now I have a tent that I don't want and I spent gems on. It is so
Yeah.
easy to spend so many gems so quickly. So like if you're, for example, adding, this is how I have so many of those extra slots.
Mhm.
Because because I think I've had something like 2,000 gems in total.
What?
I know, it's
Oh my
crazy.
gosh.
But they go away so quickly. Like if you want to
Yeah.
add, like, because when you add a spot in one of these, it then it increases for the next one.
Yep.
I don't know if it's actually exponential, but it's pretty close to it. So it adds up
Yeah.
very quickly. Um,
Yeah,
and of
so
course,
I've not
when you have 500 gems sitting there, it's so easy to just go, oh yeah, I'll speed up this cheesecake.
just get rid of it. Yeah,
Ah.
no, so I think the most gems I've ever had at one point is maybe like 50 or 60. And
Oof.
I just don't do anything with them until like every now and then I'll look at I think a couple times I got some of the chests that you can buy in the store at any time because I needed tools. So I went and tried to do that there, which now that I've played the game a little bit more, I recognize that that's not the most efficient way to get tools. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, like, so I just have them. Like, I always have a repository, and I'll just be like, meh, I guess I'll upgrade this now, or this is annoying, so I'll upgrade this or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't use them very often. And I've played a lot of mobile games before, and I just kind of, whenever I see that there's the paid currency, I just kind of like never think about that currency, or I'll save it and just never use it if I have that option. Because I know
Yeah.
that one day I'm going to be playing and I'm going to be really impatient and I want the capability
Yeah.
to just be like, just get over it, you know?
Yeah. I think this is the thing that I don't object to giving game devs money, right? Like
Yeah.
I think this is a good enough game that I would legitimately spend 30 or 40 quid on an in-game, unlock everything if it existed.
Mm-hmm.
But of course they got that money anyway, and I didn't need to do that, right? Like I was too weak. My problem is that like it's the way mobile games are just now, is that people aren't willing to spend money on the games. So then they have to basically trick people into doing it. And so you do these
Yeah.
small purchases And interestingly, so you know how it pops up occasionally, it says, oh, for like £7 you can get this like 10 chests and 300
Yeah.
gems and whatever. If you buy one of them, the next time it tells you one, it's more expensive.
Oh no.
And then if you don't buy the more expensive one, the next one will be cheaper.
Oh my gosh.
So you can like it's interesting because I bought one for like £8 and then I bought one for I think it was £20 or something, and then the next one was like £50 and I'm like, I am not buying a £50 in-app purchase when I know I'm just going to want another one.
And they're just gonna come back with you and be like 70.
Yeah. So then I noticed it went away, and then it came up with the £20 one again, and then it came up with the £8 one or whatever that one was. So yeah, it's like it's constantly changing the price depending on whether you've bought it or not, and that's really fascinating.
But it's the same. It's like the same amount of.
No, you get more or less depending on how much you spend.
Okay.
So
because I was going to say that
actually,
would be messed up if they were.
No,
like...
yeah, that would be that. This is amusing. That would be dreadful. That would be I'm deleting the app right now level of thing.
Right.
No, it's not that bad.
Okay.
Like I think for the £8 one you get like a certain number of chests, and then for the £20 one you get like 3 times as many, or something like that.
So it like makes it worth it.
Yeah, it definitely does. But you may have figured out this is the reason that I have many, many coins. I have bought everything that is possible to buy in the game other than the cosmetic stuff. And I'm only one level higher than you, and I currently have 50,000 coins.
Oh my gosh. I just got the loom. And I think I'm at like 400 coins. I'm back down to 400 coins. Yeah. And I can't watch anything at the cinema for like 4 more hours. So I'm just.
Yeah. It's very definitely not pay to play, not pay to win, not pay to start, but pay to speed up.
Yeah.
Very definitely. So like I've never had to care about coins because of that. And in a way, that's kind of sad. You know, I didn't want to get to that position. Yeah. I didn't want to, I didn't buy it because of the coins. The coins just happened. Like, I think the £20 purchase gave me 90,000 coins.
Wow.
I didn't care about the coins.
Yeah.
It's that I wanted the gems to be able to get the cards to be able to upgrade the houses.
Yeah.
The windmills and stuff like that. And I've ended up only being able to upgrade 2, and I'm not spending any more money on this game. Because I know it's a vicious cycle. You know, the more I buy, the more I want to buy, because you just end up in the sunk cost fallacy, right? Like, oh well, I need to put more money in to finish it.
Yep.
So no, I'm not going to do that.
Break the cycle.
Exactly. And I don't regret spending that money. I'm fine with having put the money in because, you know, the devs get the money.
Yeah.
It's just that I just can't get over the fact they have this subscription, and it's an utterly dreadful subscription.
Yeah.
And they also have all of these in-app purchases.
I looked at it more. So you can try it for free for 3 days, but then you get, it's $16 a month.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Or $150 a year, and in US dollars. And yeah, it says you just get highlighted ads. I do note that the cards that you get are the legendary cards, the 5-star cards.
I mean, that's all very well and good, but you can't actually upgrade to the 5-star unless you've already unlocked all the 2-star, 3-star, and 4-star ones anyway.
You are not wrong.
So it's like, great, now I can upgrade to 5. Nope, I can't. Because I still need 2, 3. Like, this subscription is dreadful.
Yeah, I mean,
I would, if the subscription was better, like it removed gems from the game while you were in the subscription or something big like that, I could see myself going for a month or 2 with that.
Yeah,
like I could go for 2 months on that subscription if it removed gems from the game or something like that. But with the 3 cards and that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only in-game thing that you get.
It's dreadful. So yeah, it's the fact that it's the typical mobile game. Here, we need to trick you into spending money, and most people will spend no money. A few people will spend a little bit of money, and a few people will spend a lot of money, and we're just relying on that. Whereas,
Yeah.
I feel like if these games were, gave you an option to unlock everything for 20 quid, they'd probably get a lot of people doing that. But what do I know? What do I know?
I mean, your opinion is valid, and as a
Thank
consumer,
you.
like that's what they want. Like what how would you most want to spend money on this game? I could see them doing that, like maybe not in like a one-time 20 quid purchase, but like if that was the subscription. If the subscription was pay $15 a month and you don't have to worry about gems, like everything that you can do with gems, you can just do with coins or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be
It's,
fair.
I mean, they're never going to do something like it though, because they're clearly making enough money from what they
Yeah.
have. They have a lot of people playing the game and clearly a lot of people spending money on it. So whatever. I hope they're happy. So I guess maybe we should summarize. What do you think about the game, Cody?
So I personally, the way that I play mobile games and the way that I like mobile games, I like it. I it just allows me to kind of every hour or two, I'll just be like, oh yeah, I haven't checked on my farm in a while. And then I'd play it for maybe 5 minutes to just check everything, plant more crops, whatever. And then I just go about my day and check on it again in another hour or so. So I've really enjoyed
Yeah.
it. There are things like the dog and playing with the dog that are kind of just a serotonin boost for me. So I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
What about you, Al?
Thank you.
Gonna be uninstalling it right after this?
Probably not today.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. I have enjoyed it.
Mhm.
And I think overall it's a good game.
Mhm.
I think it's something certainly worth looking into if you're interested in getting a mobile farming game.
Mhm.
Um, I think it's just it pushes the money too hard and it kind of puts me off,
Mhm.
and I could legitimately see if they didn't have all those restrictions, I could see myself playing for at least another couple of weeks, if not a month or two. But yeah, I'm not really feeling the enthusiasm to keep going because of all those restrictions. It's like, with all the money I have, I could buy a lot more stuff, but there's nothing to buy, you know?
Yeah.
And that's really frustrating.
Well, I
Like
wonder,
there's
like,
there's not even a way to, like, you can't buy the saws to get rid of trees. Oh, there's one thing we didn't talk about. Trees. You have one use items to get rid of trees. Right? There's no
mhm.
way to buy them other than with gems, or you get them in the chests and you get them from random. There's no way to go, I just want to buy 20 saws. You can't do that.
Yeah.
That's not a
Mhm.
thing. And I'd really like to be able to do that.
Mhm.
I've got all these coins. I paid for these coins and I can't use them for anything.
Well, so I think that, like, for example, when there's a bridge that gets you to this, like, to the other area. I know that you're probably gonna have to spend money to get to open that bridge.
Oh yeah, but
That'll probably
it'll be nothing. It'll be almost nothing. I'm definitely going to play, I think, till at least level 23, just so I can see what happens when you unlock that bridge. And I want to
Mhm.
see what the farming is like at level 22. But it's not going to
Mhm.
be very much. I can't even, was the train station like 5,000 or something like that?
No, no, the train station was 15,000.
Oh, was it? Okay. I mean,
Because
okay,
it took me like a
fine.
day to
Okay,
save
it's
up
going to
for
be
it.
a decent chunk of money, but I still have 50,000 currently, and it's not really going down because I'm only selling stuff just now. There's nothing to buy, you
Mhm.
know.
I
That's
mean,
that's
if you
part of the
need
problem
things to
of
buy, I can put things in my I need coins.
you sell saws, I will buy your saws.
I might have some saws that I could sell. See, you can always that's the great thing since it's
That's true, but you
a
have
cooperative
to
game, you
then
could say, "Hey Cody, I need a saw." And I could be
sure, but
like,
you'd have to actually know someone else playing the game to do that, and obviously we do, but that's only because we said let's play the game for the podcast.
right.
Um, so yeah, it just annoys me that there is a shop. There's a pet shop. It's just for pet supplies.
That's
You
all
know,
you need.
I want another shop to be able to buy other things in. It seems like such a fundamental part of a farming game is having a shop where you can buy things in,
Mhm.
and that doesn't exist in the game. So overall, I enjoy it, but the money grabbiness annoys me.
Mhm. Very fair.
But I think we'd probably both recommend people try it out if they want to try a farming game on mobile.
Oh yeah. I would especially if people have liked things like like Farmville in the past. I think that people would really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool. Well, that's a long conversation about a mobile game. Thank you all for listening. If you want to follow Codey, where can you find you on the internet, Codey?
I mostly use my Twitter, and I legitimately have to look up my handle. So it's just my name. At Codey Mathis, CODEYMATHIS. I
Cool.
tweet a lot about grad school life and bugs.
Bees.
And fighting with people about the fact that Psyduck is a duck and is not a platypus.
It's a duck with a platypus bill.
It actually does have a duck bill. So
fine. I don't really care.
It's important. But yeah, so if
I mean, I agreed with you. It's a duck. I did agree with you.
If you would like to argue with me about the fact that Psyduck is a duck, that's where you can find me.
I'm not going to argue with you about animals because you're always going to be right. It's kind of the thing you do.
That's the thing, though, is all of these people that are arguing with me are also biologists. And I'm just like, I don't understand how you can be so wrong.
You can find me also on Twitter at the ScottBot. Scott has 1 T. You know the amount of times people think I'm called Scott? I'm not called Scott.
Why not?
Why am I not called Scott? I don't know. You'll have to ask my parents. Do you not think it'd be weird? It's weird. A Scottish person being called Scott.
That's fair.
Like, it'd be like an American being called American.
America. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Anyway, Scott, it's a nationality, not my name. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at THSPod, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's late at night. You can also email us from our website, harvestseason.club. Also on there, you can find all the show notes and a link to our Patreon if you want to help support us. We also have on our Patreon a patron-only podcast, which is where we talk about random things.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, we'll be talking about just mobile games in general. Mm-hmm. I don't even know where that's going to go. We'll find out soon. We're just about to record it.
If you liked hearing us rant and rave about the money grabbiness of mobile games and what we like or dislike about mobile games, there will be more of that for you in the Greenhouse episode.
I do more than just moaning.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I like things as well as dislike them.
Well, that's what that's going to be talking. So I guess that's what the Greenhouse episode will provide is this was a lot about what you dislike about mobile games, and you will discuss what you like about mobile games in the Greenhouse episode.
I like more than I dislike in this game. Thank you very much.
That's fair.
Thank you, Codey.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, listeners, for listening. It has been a pleasure. This has been quite a long episode. Thank you for listening. I've already said that. We'll see you next time. Until next time, have a good harvest.
The Harvest Season is created by Rochelle Delaney and Al McKinley, with support from our pro farmer level patrons, Kevin and Stuart. Our art is done by Micah the Brave, and our music is done by Nick Burgess. Feel free to visit our website, harvestseason.club, for show notes and links to things we discussed in this episode. Thanks for listening.
I just saw a tweet. Do you know who Limmy is?
Mm-mm.
Limmy, he's a Scottish comedian. You may well have seen something because he's created quite a few memes. Well, people have memed him quite a bit. He's very funny. I just saw a retweet from Alba, retweeting him playing through the game.
Nice.
He has a very interesting way with words.